All right, boys, welcome back. We stopped at page 200. I want to get to 250 today. Or someone's calling me already. I just started my fucking live stream. I gotta check who it is. 1 second. Okay, brothers, just wow. I managed to waste so much time. So I'm streaming for half an hour. I still didn't even begin. Now we're starting. That brought us to the traveling bag season. All through the spring, we had been testing different letters on traveling bags, hoping to find one that would enable us to duplicate our sale of 50,000 bags the year before. But not one of our appeals seemed to register. Apparently, we had sold every one in our list who had any idea of buying a traveling bag, so their campaigns were so successful that they essentially just sold to everyone possible. The reason why socks were out. Uh-huh. So we had read like the stuff about the hose, but we knew there must be some appeal that would put bags over, so we kept trying, and presently we found it. You must know that one of the things we had learned in sending mailings to our customer list 10 or 12 times a year, was the need for varying the appearance of our letters and circulars. Found out if we use the same style of envelope and the same old letterhead month after month, they were never even open, but when we changed everything about them, even their size and color, and their current cards, it was like circularizing a brand new list. So much better were the results. Uh-huh. So I think this ties back to that belief that you need to like differentiate your copy. You can't just you can just present stuff uh, that people can immediately flag as an advertisement. Otherwise, they'll just like skip it, right? It needs to be something new. It needs to be something that will get people to actually open, right? That is what finally gave us the idea for our successful circular on traveling bags. If, as it seemed, our last offer had been so good that it had calmed out all of the available lists every possible order, then our only chance for more was to make our next offer as different as possible from the previous one. That is what we proceeded to do. Instead of a letter circular in card, we used a giant letter, 9 by 14 inches with a double sheet like a 4-page letterhead. On the inside pages, we put a still size picture of the traveling bag, open so as to show the convenient arrangement of the pockets. Convenient arrangement of the pockets, with a full description alongside it calling attention to every feature. Here is the letter and the illustrations that went on the inside pages. My dear sir, once in a blue moon the announcement is made A new invention of such great importance as to warrant calling your attention to it. In advance of manufacture. Word has just come from the inventor that a patent has been granted on a new lock for traveling bags, which we believe will revolutionize the whole traveling bag industry. For this new lock has automatic clasps and does away all the bother incident of closing the ordinary traveling bag, snapping the clasps, fastening the lock. It is automatic and it is safe. But that isn't all. This new Statler traveling bag has 10 handy moisture-proof pockets to hold your comb and brush, shaving set, toothpaste and toothbrush, even your shirts, underwear and collars. With this new Statler, everything is right at your fingertips. You can pack your bag in half the time it used to take, bottles can tip over, your clothes will not be wrinkled. There's a place for everything and everything in its place. But this just ties to the problems, to the relief of the problems people used to find with like regular traveling bags, I guess. So these are the benefit part. This is the motives. There's a place for everything and everything in its place. This is the Statler bag, $14.75. I wish I could read, and here is the reason so many prefer it. Yeah, look, there's a proof element here. 4 essentials of fine luggage. I wish I could read like this copy in here, because just the letters in here, I don't think they're covering all the essence of what an advertisement should look like. And in addition to this, the new Statler bag has all the improvements that made the old Statler so famous, the genuine cowhide leather. Cowhide leather. Oh yeah, I was searching stuff for it. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this in here. Book. Cowhide leather. See. Oh, it's nice. There's a cowhide leather. That looks very nice. Anyways. So tough and durable it will last a lifetime. The double handles the solid brass hardware. You won't be able to buy a bag combining all these features in any store this year for $25. But to those of our friends who will send the enclosed reservation card at once, we are going to make a special introductory price on the first of these new bags to come from the factory of $14.75, lower even than our old Statler sold for last summer. Special price holds good on the first few bags. The fact is that we don't know how much more expensive these new locks and frames are going to be to make than the old ones. The first bags will enable us to find out. You benefit by our need if you reserve your bag now. And it's all at our risk. You send no money, obligate yourself in no way, just your name and address and the enclosed reservation card are all that is necessary. Your card must be mailed right away. Yours for service. Again, this was a case of adapting an idea from the book business and showing that an idea which will sell one product successfully is just as potent in moving others, right? So this is probably a good note to take because we can probably translate the same over to like any kind of copy we encounter nowadays. So if I see like a successful idea that sold a lot in say a digital product, we can probably apply it to another product as well, and essentially extract the success that this one idea was able to pull that worked for other case studies, right? The once in a blue moon announcement, what is once in a blue moon, had been used in bringing out a book of unusual interest. It worked even more successfully in announcing a new feature on a traveling bag with this and a similar letter we sold another 50,000 traveling bags that summer. There were 2 or 3 details about this giant letter that added materially to its pulling power. The sample of the cowhide was one. We found that putting it on the letter added from 15 to 30% to the number of orders. Another was a $1,000 reward featured on the last page. That created more comment and seemed to do more towards satisfying prospective buyers that the bag was all we claimed than any other feature of the letter. It worked so well that we used it later on such as raincoats, overcoats, and the like. You will find it illustrated in a later letter. In a later shirt letter. While we were testing different letters on a traveling bag and we had hit upon the successful giant form of appeal, we tried several other forms of bags, among them a Gladstone. This was a mad product with us. Gladstone bag. Fucker. Gladstone bag. Uh-huh. This is nice. Nope. I still haven't worked 45 minutes. I'm gonna stop taking so many breaks because I need to be more productive. While we were testing different letters on the traveling bag, we had hit upon the successful giant form of appeal. We tried several other forms of bags, among them a Gladstone. This was a mad product for us, so we decided it was another chance to try the value of that will you do me a favor appeal. It worked, of course. I have seldom known it to fail. So we added something like 15,000 Gladstone bags to our 50,000 sale of regular traveling bags. Here's the letter that did it. Dear customer, this letter is purely personal and does not seek business. Rather, it invites courtesy from you, appreciating the fact that if, in your considerate way, you can help another by a simple act of politeness, you will do so, and gladly. Here's the way of it. For 3 years now, we have been selling the famous Stettler traveling bag direct to our customer at a saving of a good many dollars from the usual retail price. But many of our customers have written to us that they want a bag that would hold a couple suits of clothes without wrinkling, besides their clean linens, shoes, toilet articles, etc., in a size that will fit easily under a Pullman berth of fuck. Whatever. Pullman, whatever. Fit easily under a Pullman berth and the right weight for carrying a hand. So this spring we're bringing out a fine new Gladstone bag made of genuine cowhide leather, so sturdy it will last a lifetime over a steel frame with massive solid brass hardware, sewed leather edges, and heavy leather borders. But here, I believe, is the biggest improvement ever put into any kind of Gladstone traveling bag. This new Gladstone has 8 handy pockets which give you a special place for each of your toilet accessories. Common brush shaving set, toothbrush and toothpaste, even your shirts, pajamas, underwear, and collars. Not only does it put everything right at your fingertips, not only can you pack your bag in half the time, but everything is kept separate. Your clothes are not used or wrinkled bottles can tip over, and even if one breaks, no harm is done, for each of the tidy pockets is rubber lined. Messy, untidy. This. For anyone who wants an unusual price of quality luggage built to endure, I don't believe he could find an equal of this new Gladstone bag for less than $30. The very low price, like $19.85. I believe these bags will leaks, but you know how it is in merchandising. You can never be sure of such things until after you have sunk a lot of money in them. Which brings me to the courtesy I want to ask of you. I'd like to make sure of the demand or number of our own customers to ask each of you this. Will you try one of these new Gladstone bags for me for a week? Use it, take it on a trip, use it, notice its conveniences, its fine appearance, see how it compares with bags at retail stores The retailing stores for $30. Just put my PC to charge. $30, and then write me. Needless to say, I'll send you a bag you can be proud to take with you to the most exclusive home or hotel. A bag that in appearance as well as quality will and convenience will compare with any you meet on 20th Century Limited. Just put your name and address on the enclosed special privilege card and I'll send you one of these new Gladstone bags by prepaid parcel post to be used for a week at my risk and expense free. At the end of a week, if you should like the bag so well that you want to keep it, you can pay not the $30 or $35 you are accustomed to paying in stores, but our special introductory price for you to you only $19.85. Otherwise, send it back at our expense and in payment for the week's use. Tell me frankly your honest opinion of the bag and of its sellability. Naturally, however, your opinion will be of value to me only if I get it now, when the vacation travel season is just opening, before we definitely authorize the manufacture for any great quantity of these new Gladstone bags. Want you therefore fill in your name and address on the card tonight if you can and mail it. On the second thought, better mail it right away while you have it in your hand so there will be no chance of forgetting it. So there's the just telling people exactly what to do. A thank you for your courtesy, yours for mutual cooperation. The fifth feature. Yeah, so I think that this one asking for a favor appeal is really good because I remember reading Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. And I remember that like one good way to get people to like you, get people to know not breaking the ice, but um, essentially just stepping up relationships with like any stranger is that you can ask them like to do a favor for you. Like people really like uh, to do favors for someone, right? Um, like when you ask me, hey, can you just give me that pen? Would you do me a favor and just pass me that pen? Like you pass it, like it just feels good on you. Like I, I, I don't remember. I don't really remember this 100%, but I remember this was a great tactic to deal with like hard to convince people and just essentially trying to um, upgrade the relationship to a point where you can you can ask them to do something greater more easily, which is, for example, like ask them to send a payment. So if they've done like a favor for you once, they'll be more likely to do it for you again. Like they if you ask them a favor for like holding your jacket, maybe like who knows, next thing, maybe in a couple days, maybe after you ask them like a few more favors, you can borrow them like 10 euros. This is just a quick example of how um, I believe this principle is being used here. Maybe I'm getting this wrong, but whatever, let's just continue. One amusing feature of the sale was an experiment we made with special delivery stamps. We filled in 1,000 letters very carefully, and instead of the usual 1 or 2 cent stamp, we set the letter special delivery. The results jumped from the 3% we got on ordinary postage, to 9% from the 1,000 special delivery letters. That was too good to pass up, so we made our entire mailing special delivery. Wow, what a roar! What a roar! Went up. When a man is awakened out of a sound sleep in the middle of the night by the ringing of his front doorbell and stumbles down the steps to find a messenger with a special delivery letter, you can feel sure you have his attention. Visions of sickness and sudden death flit through his mind. He tears open the envelope in fear and trembling, reads a few paragraphs, and finds that the only thing wrong is that we want him to try a new Gladstone. Oh boy, what a feeling. Huh. I don't know, what was a special letter? Huh. It was a good thing most of our customers lived in a long distance away, so they had time to cool out before they reached us. Distance did not cool the letters they wrote. They just took a, they just about took off the height. We did not try that again.
Борщ положила і вибила цей горщику. Там осадок не вимиєш, іначе все йошечком раз, все.
I see. Handsome man. For some reason I want to get a suit now. Hmm. $6.50. Equals ones you have called. Chapter 18. More chapters are left. 8 chapters. Come on, you got it. The third 50,000. Bro, my back is sweating. Holy moly, bro. Shit, and you know what? I forgot to tell you. Like, I had to shave all my shit down because apparently I stink too much. So the director of the gym spoke to me because I was smelling really fucking bad and some clients were playing fucking bitches. I'm at the gym to work out, not to be a fucking perfume. Some other bozos who don't train hard and don't sweat like some fucking monster. Be right back. We're back. Jared better not be sweating as well. We'll power up. The third 50,000. Beating records is a contagious disease. The moment you have broken 10, you have broken one, the urge comes upon you to show how much better than that you can do, if only to prove that breaking the first was no incident. We had come to look upon our traveling bag sales as our business indicator. 2 years in succession, we had sold 50,000 bags a year, besides Gladstone ladies' cases, which went in no small volume. Could we do it another year? Competitors were betting we could not. Towards the last of the previous season, they had introduced in luggage stores all over the country a bag as like ours, to appearance as 2 peas in a pod, which they offered as a special at $1 less than our price. Of course, it hurt our sale. It would have been disastrous for us if it had appeared early in the season, for the stores advertised it extensively. But our sale was practically finished before theirs started. I gave us notice, however, of what we might expect the following summer. True, the other bag was made of shoddy material and would not no stand up hard usage. Who wants to know that by merely looking at it? On the outside, good as it looked as good as ours. It was priced at $1 less. What was the answer? The answer came from our tests of the previous year. Looking over the records, we found that the tests we had mailed in late January and February had done just about as well on traveling bags as the same circulars mailed in June, which was the best part of regular traveling bag season. So we stole a march on our competitors while they were making preparations for all the things they were going to do to us in time summer. We got our big mailings and traveling bags in February and sold more than half of our 50,000 quota. Meaning of quota. This is regular season came, we mailed a few tests, of course, just to see if we could sell some more. Then found that our competitors' tactics had done just what we expected. Made orders so hard to get that it did not pay us to make us a mail. So we let traveling bags rest all through the season. Then, when their campaigns were all over, we started again. Before the end of the year, we had disposed the last of our 3,000 bags. So this is the letter that follows when they started uh, mailing after the summer season. Dear Sir, to the traveling bag season. Dear Sir, only once in 50 years comes a luggage improvement like this. So, yeah, I suppose they were going to focus more on the aspect of uh, the luggage improvements, like its quality. You know how often you have had to struggle with the locks and snap on your traveling bag. You know how they catch at times, how you have to use both hands and knees to get them closed. Okay, so this immediately targeting at a pain point. Here's a new traveling bag frame that does away with all butter. Lock and catches are in one piece and they are automatic. Snap the lock, you snap them all. A more convenient, better looking frame has never, we believed, been devised. So simple that any child can work it, so easily operated that it snaps open or shut at the mere pressure of your thumb or finger. It is still so safe it defies the cleverest thief. Then, in addition, this new 1926 model Stettler bag famous, the genuine cowhide leather, so tough it will last forever, the double handles, solid brass hardware, the 10 handy moisture-proof pocket that almost pack themselves. Naturally, the new bags cost a good deal more to make than the old ones, so the price must go up. But on the first bags to come from the factory, we are going to make it the same low price as on the old model Stettler bag, only $14.75 delivered to you. This price holds good only on the first bags. It is subject to withdrawal at any moment. We make it in order to introduce these new model bags quickly, knowing that with them to be seen is to sell. Free trial card has been numbered and recorded. Mail it once, it will bring you without one cent of cost or obligation a 1926 model Stettler bag for a week, to be seen, to be examined, to be tried out, used for a week, our risk and expense. But you will have to mail it right away. Yours if you are prompt. But don't imagine we were idle while the regular traveling bag season was on. Starting in late January, when we mailed our first tests on the bag, we sent nearly 18 million circulars of one kind and another during that year and brought in gross orders in the neighborhood of $6 million. That was our banner year. Wow, we sent nearly 18 million circulars. Bro, that's fucking. After the traveling bags we sold, any weather top coats category. There seemed no end to the number of top coats that market would absorb. We sold them profitably each spring, so we sold them twice as profitably each fall. Then the next year would roll around and do the same thing over again. Here's the letter and circular we used this time. It is the last we shall give top coats because while we changed their tenor and formed the idea behind the latter ones remain much the same. Dear customer, I'm going to send you within the next few days one of our famous any weather top coats. This any weather top coat is probably not like any top coat you have ever had before. Or because one, 2, 3, 4, yeah, so they use the 1, 2, 3, 4 technique. I don't know what this is, but I remember him mentioning it. The cloth in the any weather top coat is not only all wool, it is full weight wool, 16 ounces to the yard. Any weather top coat is designed like the latest important English top coats, therefore stylish right up with the minute. The any weather top coat is carefully tailored in every detail. The lining of genuine lustrous serge makes the coat slip on and off easily. But here's the biggest difference. Any weather top coat is shower proofed, so it will withstand 30 minutes of steady rain. I'm going to send this coat to you with no obligation on your part for you to examine and actually see the difference between it and the top coat I'll wear. There's just one thing, I can't send the coat until you tell me the 3 simple measurements, just your height, weight, and collar size. You can do that in a jiffy on a close postcard. When I send the any weather top coat, there's absolutely no obligation on your part to pay for it. You can return the coat for any reason or for no reason at all. Here's the most important part. Find the any weather top coat is everything I say about it. You're to be the sole judge. How much would you expect to pay for it? $22.50? No, sir. That's what do you expect to pay for cheap sale top coats? $25 to $45. The price that most good top coats sell for nowadays. It's more like it. Well, if you decide to keep the any weather top coat, you need to send me only $14.85. That's the entire cost to you. How can we do it? First, we hit the wool market just right when the wool was down a few months ago and placed our order for 60,000 yards of the swine olive wool cloth. It was probably the largest order we ever placed, one kind of top coat cloth, and a tremendous saving we made. Second, we had the factory make up more than 20,000 coats from this cloth all at once. We could thus take advantage of great savings in production. Then, of course, when you deal direct with us by mail, you pay none of the costs of selling through jobbers and traveling salesmen who call on dealers, to say nothing about the heavy costs of ordinary retailing. Just fill out the enclosed card and ship it back. Any weather top coat will come by parcel post, prepaid of course, with no obligation for you to keep it. You can't lose a penny. I'm the one who is asking to send a coat. Won't you let me? Yours for any weather. 35 more pages to go. 2 tests, good code. Then came shirts. The previous fall, we had tested the giant letter on shirts and got such good response that we decided to make a big mailing first opportunity. Spring is the best time first. So we made our mailing. A goodly part of whole quota, 340,000 shirts, was hung up then and there. Here's the letter that in. $1,000 reward. Visually Senate. Probably a good note to take. Bargain offer is of no use unless you make it convincing. So you can't just slap like, for example, like 50% off without explaining or giving a logical reason as to why that is possible, right? Um, Maybe that is why we see like spring sales, summer sales, like Christmas sales, and all that kind of stuff. Like because it gives a logical reason. Like it's preparing you for a season, I guess. I actually don't know like the psychology behind like logical reasons that make up bargain in seasons in e-commerce and stuff. Something I'll probably have to look up to. Alright, we're gonna take a quick break. Boys, we're back. Enter a goal for this session. Read 10 pages. Seven. Go 45 minutes. 3 minutes per page. Let's go. What was it that what was it sold these? The bargain appeal, of course, but a bargain offer is of no use. So you can make it convincing with a real reason for our bargains which succeeded. We backed up the bargain with 7 points, which showed the buyer that despite the low price, it was getting every feature of the shirt. 7 points, bro. Did I miss them? Still. Ah, that is even more essentially, than a bargain for though low price is a lure, it never gets far unless backed by reasonable quality. In the summer, we followed this with a sale of broadcloth shirts, and they went even better than the mantras. With them, you will notice that our sales talk was aimed more at comfort and fine appearance and quality than at any bargain appeal. Of course, we always had in the back of our minds the fact that no man is going to the trouble of sending away for things he can just get it as well. He can just as well get around the corner unless he feels that he can save money by doing so. So we never failed to bring in the money saved. But many times our most successful pieces were those on which we sold the quality or comfort or usefulness of the product and then brought in the money saving as an afterthought. Dear customer, in every man's wardrobe is some particular article, a tie, a shirt, or a suit, that he likes best to wear because it looks his best and feels his best in it. That's the way you'll feel about this long broadcloth shirts once you've worn one. The past couple of years, fine quality with white broadcloth shirts have taken the place of silk as the finest dress up or attire for men. The broadcloth in the new long-wear shirt is imported from England, where the finest broadcloth is made. It is snowy white in color with a lustre that rivals silk, and it has subdued softness of texture that one loves to feel. There is no way of duplicating the rare lustrousness and durability of this genuine imported English broadcloth. No imitation can tailor so superbly and retain its snowy whiteness and silky finish after repeating launderings, as can the English cloth, for we can make never again. Last spring, when sterling exchange was low, we contracted for enough fine-quality English broadcloth for 10,000 shirts. It was necessary to place that large in order to secure this fine cloth as the lowest possible figure. Probably a good note to take, especially in e-commerce. I think emails, for example, don't try to sell people on like multiple products at once. Uh, Pick the one, center your whole idea around it. 7 things, not 12 are you? 7 things to watch. Response. Which is funny. Cat is holding on to the sock, showcasing its strength, just hiding from the dog. It's funny. This is probably a good note to take as well. Um, Wait here. Like this thing about it you can be sure of is that you never know what can you do until you try it. But I think like the game of advertising, as I've heard from like very notorious advertisers, copywriters, e-commerce owners nowadays, like for example, Mark builds brands. Is that advertising is like a game of testing. You just throw a bunch of bricks to the wall, just throw a bunch of clay to the wall. I would rather say, you throw a bunch of shit in the wall and you just see what sticks. Like, what are the sets of ideas, characteristics that make an ad pull? Um, and one very good quote I like from Mark Builds Brands is that, you know, when you have like failed advertisements, uh, you don't have a failure. You didn't burn money. You have bought data. And so I believe like it ties back to the same teaching principle that's being laid out here. So they advertising in their times was when they were testing a lot of things and those things failed, and they weren't burning money like randomly. They weren't just gambling their money. Wait, they were testing it, finding out what worked. They were buying data. So this is one good note I can take in my index cards when I do start them. It's weird to think that I just started this challenge like a week ago, 8 days ago or something, and I haven't been past the first book. Wow, that's really slow reading pace on my end. On the very day, for instance, that we read. Determined early in the game that we would be guilty of every in the decalogue rather than the one unpardonable decalogue rather than one unpardonable. Why we try to dress and yet remain on the several hundred less ones. Right, I don't think offers. Oh, oh, Kashkoish, okay. So they were selling mufflers. These are mufflers. Okay. Try different styles and sizes. But every overcoat. Oh man, I have to hurry up. Quick. I've got like one, two, three, four more pages to read. Okay, got it. We tried different styles and sizes of band envelopes and found one on mailing that a picture of the town, which looked more like a picture, postcard, and anything else. No revolution were offering. At some 10% of yours. Why? Because it attracted attention. Right? Concern located in the field. That right now storage better. Wow, I would personally think that funny as well. We tried everything. Mirrored against mail against that. The trend of all the tests seemed to be that anything which tended to make your letter seem more personal added appreciably to the number of your orders. This is a good note to take as well. Make everything personal. Personalized, especially with outreaching. Testing Hoven work against the best villains as an instance brought no extra orders for Hooven unless the reader's name worked into the body of the first. Oh my god, my fucking forearm just cramped. Look. What is this Hooven word? Thing that makes it impossible for any man or settlement to know all about it is that it is continually changing. What you learn today, you must unlearn tomorrow. Oh fuck. You have to keep trying and testing and then just God. Will you accept this little gift? Let's read this letter. Will you accept this little gift? Chapter 19. When you have been selling one article or five for 5 or 6 years, when you have pushed that sale so hard that you have disposed of 50,000 for 3 years in succession, when the competition on that has become so keen that it has come down to a cutthroat business basis, time to see if you cannot substitute some new item that will start the ball rolling all over again. At least, that is the way we felt about traveling bags. So for some time had been testing a smaller edition of our traveling bag to be just about half the price. We called it the handy bag. Really started as a doctor's bag. We had lined one side of it to hold all sorts of small bottles and packets, and the other side with three large pocket papers, stethoscope, and the like. Since it was a new product, we had tested it on doctors with our good old standby. The will you do me a favor letter here is coming. At the letter server card we used. Dear Doctor, will you do me a favor? For several years now, we have been selling physicians' letter bags by mail at a saving of a good many dollars from the usual retail price. This year we have changed these bags so radically, arranged the pockets and the inside so conveniently for doctors that I honestly believe no physician or surgeon can examine one without wanting it. So, just listen. On one side of the bag, 5 moisture-proof pockets lined with hospital rubber. You can put a bottle, iodine or acid around this antiseptic solution into any of them without any fear what will happen if the stopper comes out. The other side, one big long pocket, the full width of the bag, containing 4 heavy folders capable of holding your history sheets, prescription blanks, call list, rubber gloves, etc. And the folders are easily removable, so the pockets can be used for stethoscope or surgical instruments. The whole bottom of the bag left free for larger instruments, bulky objects, adjustable lock that opens and shuts at the mere pressure of your thumb. More convenient bag for physicians or surgeons has never, we believe, been designed. You know how it is recognizing you can never be sure of such thing after you have sunk a lot of money in. Favor. I want to make sure. Favor. I want to make sure of the demand or lack of demand before we sink too much money into this new handy bag. So I've come to you with this favor. Will you try out one of these new doctor's handy bag for me for a week? Use it, see how convenient, how time-saving, how handsome it is, how it compares with bags you have bought at $12 or $15. Then write me. Needless to say, I'll send you our newest and finest bag made of tough outer grain cowhide, the kind that wears for years with a richness of appearance that would not look out of place in the most exclusive home on the avenue. At the end of the week, if you should like the bag so well that you want to keep it, you can send me not the $12 or $15 you would probably expect to pay for such a bag, but our special introductory price to you, only $7.95. Otherwise, just send it back at our expense and in payment for the week's wear, telling frankly your honest opinion of the bag and its sellability. Naturally, I am not making offers like this to everyone, so whether you accept it or not, I should feel obliged if you return to card so as to ensure against its falling into other hands. Naturally, too, your opinion will be of value to me if I get it now, before we are definitely committed for any great quantity of these new model handybags. Uh-huh. Won't you therefore fill in your name and address on the card tonight, if you can? On second thought, better mail it right away while you have it in your hands, so there will be no chance of forgetting it. That's interesting. Why do they phrase it like this? Why do they don't just say better mail it right away than saying first to mail it tonight? I would love to know that. I thank you for your courtesy. Yours for mutual cooperation. It pulled well enough around for yours for mutual cooperation. Around 4%. Okay, that's interesting. My bases were costing us something less than 90 cents a piece. $7.95 sale meant the selling cost was about 1.5%. I bet it was nothing to set the world afire either. That would go so well that it would make a temporary dropping of the rate of travel. Presently, we found. Looking over the past records one day, I came across the which we offered the bedroom slippers free of people who sent for the bathroom. It occurred to me that something of kind might be tried with the handy bag. You see, the bag was really so convenient and such a bargain that we felt sure if we could get it into a doctor's hands, he would never let a little $7.95 interfere with his keeping. So we started looking around for a premium would not cost as much, yet would have a universal appeal to every doctor. And in a circular that drifted to my desk a few days later, the answer. The circular described a new machine that stamp machine with stamp names in raised letters upon such things as often cost 2 to 4 cents each. What could suit us better? Fountain pens are just about necessary to a doctor as his prescription pad. They are continually getting mislaid. What more welcome gift than a fountain pen name dice stamped upon it? We will try it at once. So we wrote to each doctor. Fountain pen. Oh my god. This thing. Okay. That's about it. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna go have some food because I'm really fucking hungry. So, see you in a bit. We're back. Just farted. So this was them trying to sell kind of a bag, a handy bag, doctors, and they come up with a premium of a fountain pen. It says prescription pad. So we wrote to each doctor. Will you accept one of the new large-size self-filling fountain pens with your name die stamped upon raised letters in return for a little favor I want you to do? The favor is a simple one, pleasant and easy to read. Here's the way of it. Then we went on with the rest of will you do me a favor letter given above. Did I pull? Does honey draw flies? Instead of scent, does honey draw flies? Instead of scent, our new letter brought in 12 and 14% orders. We worked our entire list of doctors. We changed the letter to make it suitable for our regular customers and worked them too. In the first 2 months of that year, we sold 60,000 handy bags. Holy shit. Here's the letter without the fountain pen premium as changed for the customer list. Dear friend, before giving this offer wide publicity, we are laying it before a number of men whose judgment we value with a request that they pass judgment upon the idea. For 4 years now, we have been selling the famous Statler bag, the greatest improvements we believe that has been made in traveling bags in the past 10 years. But many friends wrote us that they had no need for as large a bag as the Statler, that all they wanted was a sturdy, conveniently arranged bag for overnight or weekend trips. Couldn't we give them a bag made along the same lines as the Statler, or the same long-wearing cowhide leather with the same wonderfully handy interior arrangement but somewhat smaller at about half the price? Yes, we can and will if we can only be sure of the demand of these smaller sized, lower priced bags before we sink a lot of money in them by putting them on the market in a big way. So I have come to you as a past customer of the house to ask if you will be good enough to help us out by giving us the benefit of your judgment on this new handbag. So asking people for small favor. Nice trick I know here. Will you try out one of these new handy bags for us for a week at our expense, our risk? Take it with you on a trip. Put it to test, to any test you can think of, and then write us. Needless to say, in both appearance and quality, this handbag is one you can feel proud of anywhere. 14 inches long by 7 inches wide and 12 inches high. Made of tough outer grain cowhide, the kind wears for years over a shiny steel frame. Its deep leather, its carefully sewn seams, and its heavy gold-plated lock gives it a richness of appearance that will not out of place that will not look out of place in the most exclusive home. But its unique value lies in the special arrangement pockets on the inside, a feature that more than all else has made the Statler bag so popular. These little pockets give you a special place for your every toilet need. Not only that, but if toothpaste happens to leak or a stopper comes out of a bottle, no harm is done for these pockets. For these pockets, oh my god, there's a fly in here. These pockets are one each lined with moisture-proof hospital rubber. All we want you to do is try out this new handbag a week. If at the end of that time you should like the bag so well that you want to keep it for yourself, you get us Not the $12 or $15 you would expect to pay. Genuine cowhide bag in a store, but our special introductory price to you only $7.95. Otherwise, all that is necessary is just to ship it back original container at our expense, and in payment, week's use give us your judgment of its sellability. Naturally, we are not making offers such as this. Naturally, too, your advice will be valued only if we can get it soon before the vacation is up. Want you therefore mail the enclosed card today. Better still, put your name and address on it now, while it's right before you, while you need but for your pen and pencil, and then drop the card in the outgoing mail. I thank you for your courtesy, yours for mutual cooperation. But while one of the most profitable sales we had ever run, it to be indirectly the cause of the greatest debacle the company had. Debacle, what does debacle mean? You debacle. Debacle. Bro, my computer's hot. I'm hot too. Yeah, baby. We should probably turn on the light. Yeah, I see myself better now. Let's just turn off. Fuck. Lobster. Hold on. Never been able to sell to women on a large scale, because with specialists like the women on our customer list, or the wives of our customers, or good male buyers like the Davis Fish list. I could circulars for it show as good a profit as with men, but into picking up lists of women by the 100,009, I had never been able to write anything that would bring the orders in profitable volume. But when the handy bag went over so successfully on a premium, it occurred to some bright soul that women were even more susceptible to free offers than men, so why not pick something like a women's product and put over a big sale on it? Try this in a Poland. It's unreasonable and accepting for an unfortunate experience of the kind I had once before. I am sure I would have fallen in it as readily as did the others. Be that as it may, they scattered around for a suitable product and finally hit upon silk stockings. They wrote to miscellaneous lists of women. Will you accept a pair of beautiful silk stockings, pure thread silk front, from top to bottom, in return for a little favor I want you to do? The favor is a simple one, pleasant and easy to render. Here is the way of it. I am going to send you in the next few days a box of 6 pairs of the finest pure silk stockings, the newest pastel shades. When they arrive, look over them, pick out the pair you like best, and put it on. Actually wear it for a day, then wash it and wear it again. Then if you don't agree with me that it is as fine a pair of silk stockings as you ever had, your feet can luster and feel where it is not the equal of any you can buy in stores at any price. Keep that pair as my gift and return the box. Keep that pair. Yeah, the writing is totally different here now. Keep that pair as my gift and return the box with the other 5 pairs at my expense. Of course, there was more to the letter than that, but those were the salient points. Did it pull? I'll leave you to guess. In 3 months. Oh my god. In 3 months' time, he brought orders for more than 600,000 pairs of silk stocking.